Juan, we were having a conversation earlier. You mentioned something about blockchain, and I
I
have the
did indeed.
faintest clue where we're going. So fill me in, please.
Right. Okay. So in some ways, neither do I, and that's the reason this call. So, like, first a disclaimer. Like, my job is to look 3 to 4 years out in the future, and this thing is one of those. It's kind of a you know completely out there chat about where Darwinex could be headed. So no, we have no plans to take Darwinex into the blockchain now because we don't have the faintest clue how to do it. And yet there's a couple of points that kind of that when I wake up, I'm a sort of morning person, and the shower tends to be the best time for me to have ideas. And there are some elements of our business model, actually many of them, which are inherently smart contracts and therefore blockchainable. And what do I mean by that? Well, first one is quite simple, the certification of a user's track record. Okay, so we can vouch vis-a-vis the third, like vis-a-vis a third party that Ali's trades with Darwinex are genuine.
Okay,
But we don't have anyone who vouches for Darwinex just now.
got it.
So for now, it's an act of faith that Darwinex says Ali's track record is true. And obviously, it's a step forward from Ali saying it because we're independent from Ali, but still we are at the same time an asset manager that sells the investment opportunity from Ali. So therefore, somebody could try and doubt Ali's performance.
All right.
There's another iteration to that, and that is we are all about protecting trader intellectual property and making sure that traders collect success fee on all the profits they achieve for investors. That's the very reason that Darwin is an opaque wrapper that doesn't disclose the live trades, and Darwinex takes care of replicating on investors' account what Ali just did on his account with a risk management layer built in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to reassure Ali that we don't have hidden investor capital that's replicating Ali's trades and making success from those without paying Ali some success fees? So in a way, it's a smart contract
Mm-hmm.
whereby we basically say, hey, here's an investor, will act as the delivery versus payment agent that collects investor profits and pays them out to Ali according to basically some smart contract that we're enforcing.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we reassure Ali that we're not crooks?
Yeah, I see your point.
So that's another one. So one is the element of trust and the third-party certification. And I think the blockchain and smart contracts in general, like the blockchain in general and smart contracts in particular, can be a tool to achieve that end. Now it goes further. So there are ways, we are an ecosystem where different people add different elements of value. So one element is work. There's 50 people working for the company. We're kind of busting our balls to make this happen every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a salary for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are other people who also bring value to the company. So for instance, the best traders or the best Darwin managers, they bring a lot of value in the sense that they generate success fees and they get paid for success, but they also are the lighthouses guiding the efforts of the rest of the community. So the value of someone like an HFD
Mm-hmm.
is as much intangible as it is tangible, because 5 years ago we didn't have traders because we didn't have investors, and now we've got someone who's making 30,000-40,000 euros a month from the
Yeah.
platform.
And just for
So
the just to interject there, just for those individuals in the community who are watching this and are going to tell us later that we just endorsed a Darwin, this was in no way an endorsement. It was purely a reference to,
well, it's an objective fact.
yeah, yeah,
HFD has pulled in 200k of investor success fees in the last year, and this is not an endorsement. This is an objective fact.
yeah,
So if somebody took that to be an endorsement, it's his problem, not mine.
yeah.
Um, so that's another fact. Now, for instance, there will be others who will come to HFD and hopefully others who will try to bypass us to entice him to go work for someone else and
Yeah.
leave the ecosystem. So how do we reward those guys for the intrinsic value they've got over and above for the rest of the company? So surely there should be a way for them to participate in the upside and for us to hopefully retain them to not leave. So
Mhm.
they could become stakeholders or shadow shareholders in the company
Yes.
for that reason.
Hmm.
Now, same goes for, there are some sales guys who are very good at attracting investors. And let's face it, there's two types of sales guys. All sales guys sell, but only 2% of them get the customer to buy,
Yeah, true.
right? So,
Very true. Yeah.
if somebody introduces an investor to Darwinex, what is the way to reward him for that? And part of this is, look, I hate the whole affiliate thing. I don't want Darwinex to become a transactional place where I do this if I get that. At least
No.
not only. I would very much like everybody who's part of the ecosystem to feel like a shareholder and to have a transparent way to reward value for work. And then these a blockchain has working tokens and economic tokens. So conceivably we could have our own coin, the alpha coin, which is how alphas at whatever it is they do, alphas at coding algos, be it as at coding algos for trading, or coding algos for risk management, which is
Yeah.
our employees, or coding algos for YouTube optimization. And these are all sources of value, because the more, if we make the most efficient use of scarce resources,
Hmm.
then the people who make that should be rewarded so that they get more resources. In other words, we need to create some sort of shadow economy in the ecosystem
Hmm.
to reward value where value is owed,
Yeah. Give it,
so
pay
that
more.
the rest of the ecosystem can look up to those guys. And I think the blockchain could, offers an opportunity to do that. It's obviously awfully hard to make it happen, but it would certainly reflect many things. This company is as much by its customers as it is by, say, its founders. And to me, it feels awkward that I happen to be. I mean, it's not awkward in the sense that I've risked a lot to make this happen, and I've put a lot of my own money to make it happen. So it's right that I should have a large stake, a larger stake than I've already got in the company. But for me, it's that thing I should earn every day, right? And I'd like to empower an ecosystem whereby if somebody comes on board that can add more value to the ecosystem, then the old shareholders should be paid off with the money they've got for whatever value they've brought in,
Hmm.
and the new shareholders should come in to take the company to the next level within its vision, to be sure. But
Yes.
I think the blockchain has the potential to do that, and I genuinely look up to. I mean, bullshit ICO guys, abstain. We're not talking about any of that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a serious attribution mathematician who
Hmm.
can help us find a way to crack this code so that we create the shadow currency that uh, enables exchange of value within the company, because by having that, the invisible hand will take the company to the next level and beyond. And that would be very much what we wanted to do, because there's no point in having a company that doesn't achieve like, we've got a hairy vision, but the vision requires that we become a meaningful player in disrupting the world of brokerage. And right now, we've done some inroads, but I'd like us to be the startup disrupting Wall Street, and we are not there yet. And I think blockchain could help us do it.
And if there's anyone listening or watching right now who is or knows someone who has this academic capacity or is a practitioner in this space, please,
Yeah,
please, please connect us.
bring them on.
Bring them on so we can have a conversation, and perhaps they could bring something to this table that we just haven't had yet.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Cheers.